Good morning, Patriot fam. Happy Wednesday.
Welcome to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We're so grateful that you are brave enough to join an open mic free speech platform like Patriot TV, and obviously one of the most unfiltered shows here on Patriot TV.
Pretty much.
I'm Michelle Posey.
And I am Allie Leger, and we are excited to be here with you this morning. Thank you all for joining us from wherever you are joining. Please make sure you hop in the chat and let us know where you're joining from. We will shout you out live on air.
Yeah.
Well,
And we want to thank all of our viewers, especially our listeners on Spotify. If you're ever on a road trip and you just kind of need to get a little bit of, download while you're driving, Spotify is a great place to do that. It gets me through a lot of road trips. Guys, we're going to be talking about Trump taking to TikTok today.
Whoa.
We're also going to catch up on some breaking news that occurred at the Texas Capitol. You know, we were watching the showdown there with the redistricting, but they did have an active shooter threat. So we'll talk about that. I also want to talk and touch a little bit, ask the question about what role did some of our Republicans possibly play in this Russia hoax, just maybe not asking the questions that they should have, or not doubling down and making sure that this intelligence was vetted. And now that we're at that point of autopsy, maybe we can ask, listen, what can we do better next time? So we like to talk about both sides of the aisle here.
And I think we should stop calling it Russiagate. We should start calling it Obamagate, because that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Right? All right, let's open that mic and get started.
To where we started, we're wearing a red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What you do? They try to cancel you. MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGA, the RNC King. 2024 freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
If you ever questioned on whether or not we were truly Latina, all you had to do is watch the beginning of that, because we literally bachata
to everything.
And everything.
Like even country music, we're just like,
seriously,
it fits. Latinas, ride or die. That's good. And I'm speaking of ride or die, I look like I could hop on the local Harley here.
Woo,
You're looking good in your red. All right. We're a little bit of fire today, guys. The people in the parking lot would agree. Just saying. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get started on this first clip. So we have said this many times on our show, kind of just wondering what direction, if any, the Democrat Party is going, because obviously in our constitutional republic, the best way for this recipe to work is to have a strong Republican Party and a strong Democrat Party that can actually argue and debate points, and we get the best of both worlds as we the people, right?
Right.
But when you have this lackadaisical, I don't know, leftist, Marxist, Leninist, whatever, communist Democrat Party, it leaves us with really no two-party system. But when a Democrat themselves, a former talking head for lamestream media, has to say it, you might want to listen. Let's take a look.
My brother's a Democrat. I don't know why, but he is. My father was a Democrat. I know exactly why he was, but his party doesn't exist anymore. And while I had disagreements with my father about different issues, I knew what principles were guiding him.
Can you unpack something for me that you just said that I found fascinating? You said that my father's Democrat Party, and your father ran for president as a Democrat. This is correct. And he led the state of New York as governor. As a Democrat.
3 terms.
He was he was Mr. Democrat. Yes. Right. And he was an iconoclast.
Liberal lion.
He was an iconoclast for the Democrat Party. You can't go anywhere in New York without finding Cuomo on the name of a bridge or a road. And so you say that his party doesn't exist anymore. Unpack that for me.
So my father's battle was against trickle-down economics and Reagan Republicanism, okay? The Democratic Party that he fought for and the Republican Party that he fought against, neither exists anymore. My father's party was take care of the little guy, take care of the little guy, take care of the little guy. Stay out of our bedroom, stay out of my heart, okay? Just do all the government we need, but only the government we need. And we're a secular society. Don't put anything else on me. That's who they were. Republicans at that time were teaching to the top, for the top, about the top. Everybody should see the world through the eyes of the top, and everything else is great because the top has it great. That was the conflict. Now it's the left arguing for a cultural elite. This is how you will talk about people, Benny. This is how you will raise your kids. This is what you will tell them is okay. This is what, you will say and not say. And the Republicans are, this system sucks. All the little people are getting squashed. These elites are killing us. Anti everything. They flipped in terms of their operative animus. And
I wish I had a mic. I'd put it down. Who kidnapped him? Where's Cuomo? Where'd he go?
Is he kind of like Comey where he's, being forced to, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. He was very harsh with, back in the day with Joe Rogan, and the way that Rogan talked about ivermectin and other treatments for COVID. And then he's come out since and really said, I was wrong.
Wow.
And I think there's a lot of our nation that probably doesn't watch the show that's going to come to that realization here real quick if they haven't already, because again, kind of right about it all. Not that we wanted to be, but you look at COVID, lab leak, those documents are coming out. The fact that we did pay for it as taxpayers, the fact that gain of function research was happening. You look at, what really Obamagate, now everything that people were saying that happened back in 2016 and 17, people like General Michael Flynn were right on point, right on target. The election, that is coming, buckle up, the 2020 election. So maybe at some point, people that we know and love that don't return our phone calls right now because they think we're crazy. Maybe there might be that chance to bridge that gap and say, listen, we've all been wrong before.
I honestly would hope so. And this shows a character development in Cuomo, right?
Hopefully.
When you learn or you're given access to different information and you're able to remove the emotion and look at the issue and really understand what is going on, you tend to change your opinion. You change the way you view things with a different perspective. And it's not saying that he's been brainwashed or anything like that. He is actually using logic to understand the trajectory and where our country was, and now is going. And he seemed really fired up about it when he was talking about the difference between the left and now the Republican Party. And that is an attribute to President Trump and to all of his surrogates, to all of us who voted for him, to everybody that has gone out and campaigned for him, because we were the ones on the ground, boots on the ground, door knocking, advocating.
Heels on the ground.
Right. Heels on the ground. There you go. Hey. So, who else campaigns with heels? Okay. We did. It's insane.
It's like click, 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 click.
But no, I love this. I love that he's gained a different perspective, and now he's advocating essentially for other people to understand what the difference was.
And this is what's healthy about truly independent journalists. And I'm not claiming that we're not biased in some way. Obviously we have a very right-leaning, because we're right.
And have been right so far.
but to be able to say, like, for us to be able to call out sometimes Republican leaders when we're just saying, hey, come on, guys, we need you to do your job. It should swing both ways. You should have to do that on both sides. But
civil discourse.
Yes, it's healthy. The healthy questioning of your elected representatives, the healthy questioning of really anybody in authority. If they're in authority, they should have thick skin for you to be able to do that. I was at a school board meeting last night. Not so much sometimes. Wow. But the thing that did bug me about this, there's two things. And maybe I'm kind of curious how our viewers feel. Maybe they can chime in more if they're watching. But I worry about people jumping on the coattail of what's popular and what's hot right now to talk about. Right. This is hitting home because what he's saying is very much resonating with people. It's in the news. It's in the media cycle right now. I hope that he's not opportunistic in that way, because anybody who truly looks back at the history of the Democratic Party, I know it's his dad that was governor for 3 terms. And obviously there's that sentimental feeling there. It's hard to know these things about your parents and kind of not really say anything, but the Democrat Party was not the party of the little guy. It never really was. We always had a uniparty elite system. And actually, if you look back even further at some of the things that I know have bugged people like Chris Cuomo, he's talked about it before, racism. I always like to bring up that, in Alabama, the governor of Alabama, the one that stood in the doorway and would not let us desegregate our schools, would not have let
was a Democrat.
blacks come. Yes.
We
George
literally
Wallace.
had to beat it out of them in the Civil War.
We had to activate the National Guard to desegregate the schools in Alabama because the Democratic governor stood in the doorway. Why does the Democrat Party not bring that up? That is your tattered past. That is
if they want to talk about slavery, right? Because now everyone's like, oh, well, because Trump is trying to de-wokeify all of our museums.
De-wokeify. Get swag.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, well, great. Now slavery was bad. Yes, it was. And how about we talk about how the Democrats perpetuated that?
Yes.
Because the Republicans and Black Republicans and church leaders and churchgoers were the ones who defended freedom.
Martin Luther King was a Republican. Just saying. Yes. So Chris Cuomo, we're happy for you, but I'm keeping an eye on you, sir.
Yes.
I'm
and
naturally.
And for him to be on Benny Johnson of all things.
And I love Benny Johnson for that. He's like, come on, let's talk. Let's talk.
Like it.
Which, absolutely. Another great talker that I love that's part of the administration, Stephen Miller, doesn't hold back any punches. He's talking about, he actually goes on to say here that sanctuary city leaders potentially might face criminal charges because they're not allowing ICE to do their job. Duh.
How are you not complying with federal mandates? Like, you wanted all of us to comply with your illegal mandates, right? That made zero sense. But when it comes to removing people that should not be here, that are criminals, that's where you dig your heels in?
That's where they take their final stand. It's like their Alamo. I don't know. Take a listen.
The Democrat Party is an extremist organization, Sean. It's not a political party in any normal sense of the word. A political party represents Americans. It represents law-abiding citizens. All you see all day long are crazy Democrats screeching on TV on behalf of foreign terrorists, hardened criminals, and violent illegal aliens. A political party exclusively dedicated to protecting terrorists, criminals, gangbangers, and murderers. That's what they become. These sanctuary city mayors, DOJ's been very clear. They had a deadline and they violated it. They had a deadline to comply with federal law and hand over the criminal illegal aliens in their custody, the child rapists, the child predators, the drug traffickers, the human traffickers. The sanctuary cities, like Boston, refused to turn over these menacing threats to public safety. And so now they face not only revocation of funds, not only the loss of taxpayer support, but also potential criminal charges for harboring and smuggling. This is as real as it gets, Sean. The Department of Justice laid out to these mayors how they were breaking our laws, and they refused to change their policy. And Attorney General Bondi is going to see this thing through to the end.
This makes me so mad because how are you calling yourself a representative and serve as a representative for the American people and you don't advocate for American people? This is what happens when you get illegals that just get whatever they want in America, right? You get death, you get tragedy. So for example, there were two men here in Florida that got a license in California illegally. Okay. They failed the English proficiency test. They failed the road sign test. And then they decide to do an illegal turn in the middle of a freaking highway and kill 3 people.
Yep. A family.
An entire family. This is what happens when you have, one, intentional failures at our border because of our previous administration. Intentional failures from the FBI and the DOJ and all of these government agencies that are supposed to keep these people on lock, seeing what occurred in our streets and in our colleges with Palestinian press sympathizers. This is what you get with Democrat policies who only advocate for illegals and criminals and terrorists. And this is absolutely disgusting.
You're so right, Allie. This is something that what caught me about this is because we think even in places like Florida or Texas or some of your, more, I guess, America First strongholds, right? That you think are really safety nets, right? This is why so many people move here.
Every state is a border state.
Well, because you look at policies like this, what California is choosing to do by allowing these illegals to get driver's licenses and vote, by the way, that it is affecting you in
It
Florida.
affected Florida.
Absolutely. It affects. So that's why these policies are nationwide. This is why we report on what's taking place in Boston, and the fact that mayors like, in Boston and Chicago and other areas are digging their heels in and saying, we're going to harbor these well, a lot of them are on the terrorist, are considered terrorists if they're part of the gang affiliation or cartel affiliation. And it affects everybody across the nation. So please make sure you keep it tuned here for more information. I can't wait to see what criminal charges might come their way. I'd love to see.
They're
AOC
just as guilty.
get
They
some
are just
charges.
as guilty for the crimes that occurred in these sanctuary cities and that are occurring because in other states because of the policies that they have implemented. They have blood on their hands. They are just as guilty. And I need we the people, Americans, American first patriots to step up and run in these positions. I don't care if you don't think you can win. I don't care if you don't think you can raise the money. You can figure it out. You know why? Because this is your country.
Yes.
It's not their country.
Absolutely.
It's ours.
And it's our duty to make sure that if we don't hear our voice echoed in those that we elect to represent us, then you go and you fill the voice. You be the voice.
You fill the gap.
Yep.
Tip of the spear.
Okay.
Circle of influence.
Can we
All right, let's go.
pivot a little bit to wearing denim while you work out? Listen, I belong to a club, a health club, that when I walk in, it says no sandals, which I don't know, like who's walking on the treadmill in flip flops. Like that's just asking for.
Maybe you're practicing running in flip flops.
I could just see it in heels, but no jeans. Like they kind of say what you can and can't wear. But I don't think anybody would say no to RFK Jr. working out in your health club. Who's going to do that? Who's going to go after Maha, man?
That is so uncomfortable.
But listen to him explain why, and then it makes kind of some sense. Let's take a listen.
I have to ask you a question that everybody's wondering about. Why do you wear jeans when you work out?
Well, I just started doing that a long time ago because I would go hiking in the morning and then I'd go straight to the gym. And I found it was convenient, and now I'm used to it, so I just do it.
Okay.
Hiking in the morning, Allie.
You're definitely not going to go hiking in shorts.
No, and he lives out in California.
So
I guess.
Okay. Sure.
But obviously you see the workout going on there. That is the Pete and Bobby. That's what they're calling the Pete and Bobby challenge. Piggybacking off of how Trump wants to bring fitness back to our local PE class. Listen, there's going to be a generation of people that are going to struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
This generation, this generation, it's going to feel a little like pulling a Band-Aid off.
Yeah, but you know what? Practice makes perfect. Actually, perfect practice makes permanent. So,
Allie,
like, I got them all day.
Somebody should be writing this stuff down.
I got them all day. I get these from my dad. My dad would say things like that. So. And nope is like nothing ordinary produces excellence. My dad, I love my dad. It's awesome. I love the things he would say when I was a kid. They stick.
They do stick.
It's good. But no, I think this is great. And I actually want to do this challenge with Anna Paulina Luna. I think we should both do this challenge with her.
That would be fun. And it would be like 3 Latino women.
I know.
And
we're just killing it. I love it.
Wait, but then I'm going to be like with 2 former service women.
But you got this. You got this.
I've been trying.
Brandon is like, go, mom.
I love you. I love you so much.
But I don't know, as a female, I couldn't work out in jeans.
No,
it's already a struggle to try to put them on and take them off sometimes. So listen, when you're out and you're working out the way I work out, I'm like, I work out.
The other night, it was so funny. I was in a mood and I'm like, what would Allie say?
Throw some weight.
Throw some weight on it.
Throw some weight on it. You mad at him? Throw some weight on it. You got in your feelings? Throw some weight on it. You want to not end up locked up in jail, even though you look cute in orange and stripes? Throw some weight on it.
It worked. I couldn't walk the next day, but it worked.
No, it's good for your mental health. So I think this is great. Let's bring back all of the workout challenges.
Hey, you know what happens when you're exercising? You're releasing endorphins.
It makes you feel good.
Maybe it might help with some of the mental health that goes on in our lives. I mean, I do feel bad. Listen, I feel tired. I feel like a little out of shape, but I feel better after I work out. I feel better.
And then you go and you eat ice cream.
Well, I don't.
I know, but it's
well. If I bought it and had it in the house, I don't buy it. Honestly, if
I have it because my kids, they get it every now and then. They forget it's in the fridge or the freezer, so they're like,
"You're like, gotta eat this before it goes bad."
Seriously though, I have like 3 tubs of ice cream in my freezer. It has not been touched.
How many bags of chips do I have in my pantry? Let's just be honest. It's like Ruffles, Ruffles, Ruffles. She's like, you're prepared for Armageddon. I guess you got enough Ruffles in here, man. Don't mess with Ruffles. All right, let's move on because we had some news yesterday that you shared with me. I did not see this. Actually, I only saw it later in the evening. I did not realize that, the Texas legislature has been going back and forth on this redistricting map, and instead of it just being, listen, we're gonna, every so often we do this, we've got a huge lead and as Republicans, so let's go ahead and push this through. The Democrats do it all the time. Let's redistrict our congressional map and pick up some seats so that we can get a bigger lead in Congress. And instead, this was sold in a lot of the left-leaning media as, just this anti-democratic thing, this awful thing. So then it doesn't surprise me when you have reports of the Texas Capitol being evacuated for an active shooter threat. Let's just take a quick look. And they're still protesting. We can bring it back here.
I'm a little confused by looking at this. Does anybody else seem concerned?
It doesn't look like a panic.
It doesn't look like yes, you're evacuating the building, but if there's an active shooter, why are you not ducking and covering?
He doesn't look like he's very concerned. I got a still image on my computer
No,
here.
the officers don't even look really concerned.
Democrats are protesting the new U.S. House maps. So yeah. This only ends, apparently, as this person states, and we love Nick's order, when politicians who are encouraging this kind of behavior,
the rhetoric and right, because that is what is happening. You see the left again, the unhinged left. They're right. Everything you own in a box to the left. Thank you, Beyonce. Seriously, but this is crazy. This is all due to their rhetoric. They're exacerbating the mental illness that is perpetuating our country. It's
awful. It's awful.
This is strange.
So we almost need like a pick me up before we go to commercial break, and that's usually done at the hands of the White House and their
meme team. They need an award.
Well, and so here's what's happened, and I'm trying to branch out into TikTok a little bit more.
I love
terrifies me because my daughter used to make me do all those like little TikTok challenge things, and I was like, okay, but now
fun, though.
I know they're fun. I'm trying because we have to reach that generation.
Yeah.
But when the Trumpster takes to TikTok, it's going to be a new world, and the Swifties might not like it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Take a look at this first video he launches on TikTok. TikTok.
Every day, I wake up determined to deliver a better life for the people all across this nation. I am your voice.
Yes.
What exactly are you resisting
right now? America is on the bullet train forward to prosperity. What are you resisting?
And you're on the tracks. Like, stop. Really?
Right.
Like what? Yeah. Make them argue the bad 20% of the issue. I guess this is amazing coming out of the White House. So we'll have to keep it locked on TikTok to see what some of the reactions are.
Are facts.
Allie, we are going to take a quick break, guys, but don't go anywhere. We're going to talk more about the clearances that Tulsi Gabbard, DNI Director Tulsi Gabbard, has now gotten rid of. People that had access to secure information that should not have. So we'll be right back with more Open Mic right after this.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None.
Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answered all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
All right, you guys, thank you for coming back and joining us here at Open Mic. I do want to take a few minutes or just a minute to just give our prayers to one of our friends who is on X. He goes by Real Person Politics, at Real Person Politics on X, and his wife is at Still Giggle. This is James R. He hosts Pirate Radio and Off the Cliff and Trump Tuesday Spaces. He suffered a stroke. It says James was leaving work when he collapsed in a parking lot. They rushed him immediately to the ER. The doctor said that he had a major stroke. He immediately went into surgery, which is good, and they finished the surgery around 11 p.m. Mountain Time. He is alert and knew who everyone was in the room. He could speak. And to quote his wife, still breaking balls, because that's just what he does.
Why we love him.
Right, why we love him so much. He did answer verbally. He's resting right now. And so we just ask that you continue to send prayers his way. And please make sure that you give prayers, also send prayers for his wife and their daughter, their baby girl, Nuka. They call her Nuka because she is like a little nuke. It's just so cute. So, yeah, we just want to lift him up in prayer and for recovery and well wishes sent his way. So thank you.
I know our viewing audience will continue to, we're all believers in prayer in one way or another. So make sure you keep them in your prayer. Allie, I am grateful for.
He has a great voice for politics. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to
he is.
He has a
and
great
so
voice.
hold on, but was it, because I know you sent this information to me. I was at a meeting last night, but you sent this information to me. Did you show up to Trump Tuesday last night? And then he wasn't there?
No,
and
there was no Trump Tuesday. So Miss Giggles is what we call her.
Okay.
Tina, she went to X and said, James suffered a stroke. Please pray.
Oh my
and that's when I sent it to you. And then they ended up doing a space in support for James. And I mean, there were hundreds of people in that space. James is a political genius. He's been doing this for decades now, breaking down policy, breaking down propaganda, and teaching you how to properly wield your political power. And he is the tip of the spear.
And somebody that doesn't mind pouring into you.
Absolutely.
That's the thing, especially if you're just getting your voice or if you're transitioning from state news to national news, to be around people that aren't afraid to, like you always say, Allie, one hand up, one hand down. Like they're okay with kind of helping you out in any way they can. That's definitely, that embodies who James is. So
let's keep him in our prayers. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Another person I think, honestly, all jokes aside, that we need to keep in our prayers is Tulsi Gabbard, because she is just continuing to take a blowtorch to the deep state, basically. Now it's coming out that under the direction, she's careful to say this, under the direction of the president of the United States. It's not like she's just doing this on her own.
Yeah, she's not, going rogue.
No. She says under the direction of
she's following chain of command
of POTUS, he's directed her to revoke the security clearances of 37 current and former intelligence professionals who have abused the public trust by politicizing and manipulating intelligence, leaking classified intelligence, Adam Schiff, without authorization and or committing intentional egregious violations of tradecraft standards. What? In our own government? In our own government. And we don't even find out until we get somebody who's just got a little bit of cojones. This is how we find out. This is so... This drives me crazy, Allie, because these are the people that we are supposed to look up to in the intelligence community that make us safer, that make us the tip of the global spear as far as what we'll put up with. And I to know that we've got people literally working from the inside. Oh my gosh, that just made me think of the school board meeting last night.
Right.
Working from the inside. I mean, I think they're doing it on a lot of different levels.
They literally have the word integrity plastered on their wall. How are you in these positions and you have zero integrity?
When you serve in these positions, it's a lot like the military. Allie, former veteran sitting next to me here. You take your oath to the Constitution, to the country, to the mission. You don't take an oath to the party Evan Power. You really don't. You're supposed to take. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. The point is that,
or to an agency. You don't take an oath to a party or
thank
to
you
an
for picking
agency.
that one up, because I was like, ooh. Because the reason I'm saying this is because when you work in intelligence, your goal is supposed to just try to keep our homeland safe.
Yes.
The problem we have is when you get people that have Trump derangement syndrome that just, no matter what happens, they just cannot accept the results of what we the people have voted overwhelmingly for, and so they work from the inside as a part of the deep state. I'm grateful this is happening, but it really kind of upsets me that this has gone on this long.
I agree with you.
And it's probably was the big issue with Trump's first administration.
Right. Well, especially with the holdovers, and Laura Loomer has talked about this, and Ivan Raiklin has spoken about this. He even tagged Pam Bondi, was like, here are 37 more people that you can go after. Like, it's just, we're all trying to help each other out.
We are. It is.
And it's not necessarily like we're pointing fingers and calling you out. I mean, there is a little bit of that, but we're also giving you a little bit of grace. Like, we understand that this lift is a heavy lift, but we are supporting you to get on it.
Absolutely. And we'll do whatever is necessary to help you.
Right.
And give you the encouragement.
This is good. I'm glad you brought this up, because I listened.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, because it's Matt Gaetz, but second of all, because it's Ed Martin.
Right.
Ed Martin obviously was running for the position, wanting to be appointed to the position that Judge Jeanine Pirro had ended up being appointed to. So they've since given him the office of Office of Pardoning, which he's gone through and had whistleblowers talk about how that pardon pen was like an auto pen, and it wasn't. Those pardons were not signed allegedly by Joe Biden. It was other people. So we'll get to that. But here he is on Matt Gaetz' show, basically saying not only is justice coming for Russiagate, Obamagate, but he says also the stolen election, J6. I told you guys, buckle up. It's not out of fear. It's out of complete transparency. We prayed ever since the beginning of open mic. Lord, whatever's done in the dark, bring it to the light. I didn't intend that to mean like marriage, but it's all things in your life. You will be expose it, because we want to deal with transparency,
and then show us how to move.
And show us
be
how
our
to
guiding
move.
steps,
Absolutely.
our guiding light as you guide our steps and strengthen.
Take a listen to Ed Martin here. Tell Matt Gaetz about it.
Are you confident with what you're able to get access to and assess that you're going to be able to very thoroughly make your prosecutorial judgments?
Well, look, I've been involved with our mutual friend Tulsi Gabbard at DNI, and she has gone, and I hope people have tracked what I call the birthday of the Russia hoax, which was revealed by Tulsi. It actually was born on Friday, December 9th, 2016, and it was done by the Obama White House in a special meeting, aided by the Washington Post. This is in the record. This is indisputable. This is not like me and you debating. And what we go forward from there, and you say that was the Russia hoax that was used to almost cripple the Trump administration by design. Then you go forward to 2020, and you say, what happened on January 6th and afterwards? And to your point, Matt, what they did with this select committee was they weaponized the power of Congress. They were aided by the media, and they were often aided by the Article III courts and the prosecutors. And they took the hoax and they pounded out a message. And frankly, they brainwashed 40% of the country, 50% of the country. There's still people are still sick with it because they were lied. So what is our goal? One is to hold people that do things that are destructive and against the law accountable. I want to do that. We're going to do that. I promise you. But we're also trying to get to the truth. And so when you have a Tulsi Gabbard who can say, here was some of the truth, I can tell you, we've been going through the records, emails of this Department of Justice from the Biden era, and we're seeing who was doing what. I'll give you a quick example. They put everybody on January 6th that was arrested, minus maybe 100, onto the terrorism watch list. And when you said, wait a second, you're on the terrorism watch list, why? You're supposed to be a terrorist or a member of a terrorist group or another criteria. The other criteria was, we just wanted to put you on. And when you were pardoned by Donald Trump, all 1,500 plus went off the terrorism watch list. Well, that just proves it wasn't a terrorism watch list. It's a list to punish you when you go to the airport. And that's what they did. We have numbers that the IRS were auditing J6 targets in a higher percentage than other groups. This is all the use of government against the people. And I'll just finish with this, Matt. You've seen this, you know this, you've been aware of it, but we've never seen what happened in the Biden administration, the use of government against the American people, we've never seen it in our history. And so, am I confident we're going to get to the bottom of it? Yes, because I got to get up in the morning early and work hard all day. But it is a fight, and it is a fight because people have deleted, they disappeared, they moved on, they tried to say, don't talk about it, get on with it. President Trump has said, we're going to get to the bottom of it. I'm also involved in the 2020 election and the 2016 election to get to the bottom of what happened. We're going to have grand juries. We're going to pull people in. And the one thing I'll say over and over again, Matt, it won't surprise you, it's the same people that were at the Russia hoax birthday party. It's the same people overlapping over and over again. And what Rudy Giuliani said once, and he knows better than anybody in our American history, when you put these people together and they're always working together, that's called an enterprise. That's called a criminal enterprise. And you're in territory where everybody's held accountable for the whole of it. And that's what we're seeing.
Absolutely. And, we just
It is
had
a
Ivan
criminal
Raiklin.
syndicate.
We had Ivan Raiklin on our show on Monday, and he brought up the same thing. It's the same people. It's the same people. It's like they're a cartel.
Right. But what I want to bring everybody's attention to is for you to really understand that what the DOJ, the weaponization of government, what that did to the American people and how that contrasts to what the left is doing. So when Ed Martin talks about how January 6ers were put on a terrorist watch list and then taken off once the president gave a pardon, that really means that you are not a terrorist.
Yeah,
it really just meant that they were just going after you, right? But yet we have, and then the IRS is investigating and auditing the J6ers, right? But won't do it for these criminal aliens that have come over here, the actual terrorists that have been over here, the sex traffickers that have been over here. They won't. Then you have the left that are advocating to get them out of jail, advocating to give them citizenship, advocating to give them your money. And yet we have people that were not on a terrorist watch list that were actually like it was weaponized against them.
Right.
They can't live their lives now because they still have this black mark on their record. And yet we have actual terrorists who have been on terrorist watch lists for years are getting away with crimes scot-free.
And let's not forget that you're right. The IRS has completely come after anybody that was near the Capitol on J6, but we cannot get a continued investigation into the Clinton Foundation. They were told multiple times, stand down, do not investigate.
But you're going to go investigate the praying mom on the steps of the Capitol, or people that weren't even at the Capitol at school board meetings, advocating for better outcomes for students.
Oh, which, so Allie, and I don't mean to be the person that's kind of always like looking over your shoulder, like what am I missing? What did I not see? Like, what are you doing? Kind of thing.
But those are
now that we're here and we are seeing it both in writing, in the documents, the declassification of documents, actually the declassification of documents that shouldn't have been stored as classified so that you can see them. As this all comes out, can we just pause for a moment, guys, and just think, wait a minute, we've had some Republican leadership through this time. You look at Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. This stuff happened under his watch. Devin Nunes came forward and said he wanted to look into this stuff. They made him
resign,
recuse himself. Yep. This was the leadership under Paul Ryan. So is it okay at this point? Do we have permission now to go, wait a minute, what did you know? When did you know it? And why didn't you? Another name I'm going to throw out there. Some people aren't going to like this, but you're going to get in your feels, and I don't care. Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy was a very vocal person. Now I understand sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that's very valid. And I would hope that as maybe strong Republicans or strong conservatives, they would be open to some kind of dialogue to say, yeah, we probably need to tell our people when they get into office to be on the lookout for this. There needs to be some kind of, yes, we want retribution for what took place, but within our own party, we need to be asking some questions because something doesn't pass the smell test here.
Right. There's too much corruption.
Take a look at this. General Michael Flynn must share our concerns. He posted this. British court reveals Paul Ryan, former Speaker of the House, was the first one to receive the Steele dossier in 2016, bought and paid for by the Hillary campaign.
What? Guys, we are in the age of discovery. So those of us MAGA folks that are like, where are the handcuffs? We're in the age of discovery right now. You got to build the case first. And that is what is happening. This is unacceptable.
So, and what we're saying is the Steele dossier obviously was the falsified, really, I can't say that word, bad intelligence that was bought and paid for by the candidate Hillary Clinton. So a person running for office, for presidency, pays for a report to say exactly what they wanted to say, and they give it to Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, according to this post, according to what General Michael Flynn's saying, and he would know. And your first question as Speaker of the House and, complete Republican Paul Ryan isn't, let me take a look at this. Let me form some kind of a committee that can take a look at this. Let's get the top of the intelligence community. Let's pull in those that, are apparently being named in here. Let's pull in the Trumps. Let's pull in the Flynns. Let's pull in people. Let's pull in Devin Nunes. What are you saying? You're saying that you have this information over here. Let's bring it all together and let's have a conversation. That was not done even by the heads of the Republican Party. So while we're pointing fingers at the Democrat Party and the deep state, we better have a finger pointing back at those that we elected to represent us that did not do their due diligence, their derelict of duty in not protecting we the people. Because if they just pulled off the largest scam that cost this country the last 8 years, I'm sorry, you're getting called in for questioning too, if I have a say in it.
I agree. But my question is, what is the British court doing looking into our stuff? That just kind of stuck out to me. And I'm like, what? Since when does the British court investigate what's going on in America?
Or why is there a reason that we have to let some of the other areas of the other countries? Because when it came to the election, a lot of the data that points to a stolen election was not kept on our soil. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't have, we're not that much in the know, but we're in the know enough to tell you to put your seatbelt on, secure your oxygen mask before you secure your travel companion. You're going to need it. You're going to need, and if there's maybe a little bit of, I don't know, something in there to help you calm down, because this is
only with informed consent.
This woman, I love her. Another person I love is John Solomon. I try to watch him every morning, but while I'm getting ready, putting the face on. But he's talking about in the next 48 hours, which at this point is probably 24 hours. He's hearing that there's going to be more documents released. We alluded to this before. They've tried to investigate the intelligence community, things they're finding in the Clinton Foundation, things that don't add up. The math ain't mathin'. And they're being told repeatedly from an Obama administration, shut that down. Take a look.
Last week, we told you that the FBI had not one, not two, but three criminal investigations of the Clinton Foundation, but they were all ordered shut down by the Obama Justice Department. Remember the famous quote from Sally Yates, the Deputy Attorney General for Barack Obama, shut it down. Well, today we learned that there was another criminal investigation of the Clinton Foundation, not at the FBI, but at the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. That too, well, it got shut down, ironically, in President Trump's first administration. We learned that from a lawsuit that's making its way, a whistleblower lawsuit, making its way through the U.S. tax court system. Now, we're going to have more documents on this coming up in the next couple of days, so keep an eye on justthenews.com. The protection racket around the Clintons, Hunter Biden, all the others in the Democratic Party at the same time they were smearing President Trump with investigations and false Russia collusion allegations, becoming more and more clear just how much a dual system of justice we have. These documents are up on Just the News right now. We'll have new ones coming out in the next 48 hours. All right.
Unbelievable. Not one investigation into Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, but two. So this makes me ask the question during the campaign in 2016, when he was saying lock her up, I wonder how much he really knew about the shady dealings of Clinton and the Clinton Foundation and the questions that were being asked. Obviously, I don't think we had the right people in office to really address that, but was he right 9 years ago? Like, I'm gonna have to get that crystal ball, sir. That just, asking the right questions. And it makes me ask the question again, if somebody like Trump could see that and come up with a catchphrase of lock her up, where were the Paul Ryans? Where were the Trey Gowdies? Again, this is
What
hard
did
for
they
me.
know and when did they know it?
It's hard for me because I actually I would watch Fox once in a while. I'd watch Trey Gowdy. Other than I'm not going to go.
And then why did you not say anything?
Yeah.
Don't we talk about see something, say something?
That's why we're going to need a bigger bench on the Republican side because we have to get people in there that
I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. Right? I'm ready to play, and I will not play. Just so you know.
I'm ready.
Exciting,
Put me in,
exciting.
coach.
All right, so I want to break this news too that happened the other day when we had the European leaders and leaders from NATO here at the White House. I love this. Not at the UN. They were at the White House. Trump said, "No, you come to my house. We're coming to my house." What happens when people come to your house? They tend to kind of you have a different level of sort of authority there. So as they're sitting at the table, we think they're talking about Russia and Ukraine. They're probably talking about a lot of things. But apparently,
he did show them his assassination, attempted assassination photo.
Picture, yeah, and he
his,
saw
the
the
his
shot.
MAGA hat room. He showed them all the things.
Let's go to the storefront.
Yeah,
everybody gets a hat. It would have been funny if they would have given out the Trump 2028 hat just to get under Gavin Newsom's skin. But President Trump says after discussing the issue, Allie, of missing children with the European Union president, that they will be working together now to make sure that this is the world's top priority.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What? We're going to start talking about all the trafficking, modern day slavery, children that are being sold as a commodity over and over and over again. We're going to make this a discussion globally. Oh, where are our globalist heads are rolling right now?
Yes, they are. And I wonder what ties the Clinton Foundation has with it. Or other foundations have with it, like NGOs that are paid under USAID that are no longer paid now.
I wonder how much human trafficking and sex trafficking and the selling of babies affects Ukraine.
Because there's a lot of interesting information coming out about that there. But what is scary is that America is the #1 consumer. And with an open border, there is absolutely no way that our government does not know who the power players are. No way. You can't make over $600 or $10,000 get dropped into your PayPal account, and you can't. The IRS is not knocking at your door like, "Excuse me, where did you get this money from?"
We want to see your PayPal.
But you cannot tell me that they do not know where 400,000 missing children are, that they don't know who the power players are as far as the cartels go and the terrorists go, who have been completely running rampant and perpetuating sex trafficking and sex slavery in America in order for America to be the #1 consumer.
Absolutely. You know why this type of revelation is so important, Allie? I was just sitting here thinking about this. You know, when we pray for our country, when we ask, God to bless our country, I think we all mean that with very good intentions, but only God knows really what's done behind closed doors. And he sits at tables that we don't know anything about. He listens to discussions that we're not privy to. And part of what we do as Americans, when we're paying taxes, we're entrusting. It's not the same as tithing, but it's like you're giving money to your government, right? So your hard-earned money being given to your government sort of makes me feel like I'm complicit in whatever my government then goes on to do, whether I know about it willingly or not.
It's your money.
And so I feel like by looking out for the best interests of, yes, these young people, these children, the unfortunate people that end up in this modern day slavery, human trafficking, foster system, even though that's awful, it's awful that we are having to pay for it. You look at what we're finding out about the lab leak. We told you it was a lab leak. Like they're stirring up, cooking up Frankenstein, COVID over here. Maybe we shouldn't be playing God in a laboratory in Wuhan, China. When it leaked, we were telling you guys, your tax dollars funded this. What did we find out now? It funded it. My dad died with mishandling of COVID. I would never in a million years pay for my own father's death. But guess what? Through the shady hands of somebody like Fauci, we were complicit in that. And this is, even though it feels like a little bit of a gut check, I think we have to do this because this is the revelation we asked for. This is what we prayed for. We want what comes through our hands with our hard-earned money and goes out to whatever taxes we pay. We want for that to be all in the up and up. I do not want to be caught wrapped up in something that God would not want us to be doing.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's skip the commercial break because we are long-winded because we women can't get a word in edgewise. Let's talk a little bit about the Venezuelan cartel. So I did not know about this, Allie. This was brought out by our press secretary, the Trump administration's press secretary.
She's ours. She belongs to us. we claim her.
We claim her.
We like you, Caroline.
Caroline Levitt. Let's take a listen.
Especially because she was one of our hosts at Moms in America, and I got to meet her, and she's amazing.
And
So
she's like mom, all the things, right? All
Right.
the things.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Take a listen to what she had to say.
The 3 U.S. warships that are being sent to Venezuela, and there's 4,000 Marines on board. Are you looking at possibility of boots on the ground there?
What I will say with respect to Venezuela, President Trump has been very clear and consistent. He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. And Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country. And with that, I will leave you all, and we will see you later, if not tomorrow. And I look forward to taking more of your questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Caroline.
All right. So she's saying warships are being sent to Venezuela, 4,000 Marines on board. Question was, are we looking at boots on the ground there? She goes on to say that, Maduro is not a legitimate president there.
He's not. And she's like, there's so much behind this. It just.
And how it's tied to the 2020 election.
Wow.
Oh, I wish we could talk more about that, but
I know we can't though. We're like, I can't wait for it to come out.
We don't know. We don't know anything.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
And I just think you need to keep it tuned to Patriot TV, to Open Mic, and especially at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies. So we will keep you posted on this, on what's taking place in Venezuela. I'm thinking this has a lot to do with some of the anti-human trafficking things that are going on throughout the globe as well. I do want to pivot a little bit to talk about California, because I love California. And if you're watching from the West Coast, beautiful. I mean, just iconic. If it hadn't gone so far left, there would be a chance that at least part of my family would still be living there. But Gavin Newsom,
vacation home.
This is why we can't have nice things, Newsom.
That part, Newsom, get it together.
But apparently Gavin Newsom is trying to, as they're saying, rig California by redistricting. This isn't us talking about it. Obviously, this is his own constituents talking about it. When you go to redistrict, you notice in Texas, they brought in the House Democrats and House Republicans. The House Democrats were like, we don't want to play with you, and left, but you're supposed to both come to the table. And they did in Texas, whether you like it or not. In California, not so much. Apparently, they're not even asking for the conservative or Republican input. Take a listen to this.
Additionally, I received a text message at 8 o'clock this morning informing me that the language was available. On that language, it showed Democrat co-authors on the bills, meaning that our Democrat colleagues got a first look at all of this, and they gave me barely 24 hours before committee tomorrow to prepare. So let me warn anybody who will be testifying tomorrow. If you don't answer my questions tomorrow, attorneys will be making sure you answer them in a courtroom. You can run, but you cannot hide. And we are not backing down from this fight. You are disenfranchising Californians, and we are tired of democracy dying here. We will fight back. We are in the super minority, but we are effective, and we will defeat this. If it's not here in the Capitol, it will be in a courtroom, or it will be at the ballot box.
Fire brand.
Alexandra Macedo. Let me tell you, California, things are looking bright with feisty women like this out there.
It's always the women. Thank you, Lord. We are in the era of Deborahs.
Thank you. She's a vice chair of the California State Assembly Committee on Elections. We need to keep praying for those that are out in California, that they're in New York, New Jersey, all over the place, holding down the fort at home.
Yes.
I know Florida is like the number one destination. Texas is second. We love having people come here because they love the free state of Florida, but really it's better if you can try to stay. Yes.
They need help. And when you flee and you have our values, the Republican America first, screw the party, right? If you are America first, period, and you are fleeing your state, you are weakening your foothold in that state in order for that state to rise above the crazy that the Democrat left is perpetuating, right? And speaking of firebrands, I just want to bring up Liberty Cigars. From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation, much like many of us now. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it, much like President Trump. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended, much like Pete Hegseth and other military members that are currently serving in this administration. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake, from the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection, light a Liberty cigar, and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. Go to libertycigars.com and use promo code OpenMic. And ladies,
Get your
it
man
is
a
always
cigar.
the right time for a gift of cigars.
Get your man a cigar. He's going to be like, well, I need to celebrate something to smoke this, and be like, you got me.
Celebrate me. And all the wins that are occurring right now in our administration, get you a box.
Get you a box. Get you some.
And light one and pour yourself some libations.
Do not drink Casamigos.
I mean, whatever your flavor, babe.
We love it. Okay, so let's end on
Moving
a really,
on.
really fun video. I found this. So I don't think she's even seen it yet.
Probably not.
So all the
You do
diplomacy
this to
that's
me all the
going
time.
for her raw reaction, all of the diplomacy going on with Trump and Putin and Trump, Zelensky and the European leaders. How fun would it be if we got to watch that play out in baby AI form?
Oh my!
Roll this.
I believe we had a very productive meeting. There were many, many points that we agreed on. Most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate. And I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately up to them. They're going to have to agree with what Marco and Steve and some of the great people from the Trump administration who've come here, Scott and John Radcliffe. Thank you very much. But we have some of our really great leaders. They've been doing a phenomenal job. We also have some tremendous Russian business representatives here. And I think, everybody wants to deal with us. We've become the hottest country anywhere in the world in a very short period of time. And we look forward to that. We look forward to dealing. We're going to try and get this over with. We really made some great progress today. I've always had a fantastic relationship with President Putin, with Vladimir. We had many tough meetings, good meetings. We were interfered with by the Russia hoax that made it a little bit tougher to deal with, but he understood it. I think he's probably seen things like that during the course of his career. He's seen it all, but we had to put up with the Russia hoax. He knew it was a hoax, and I knew it was a hoax, but what was done was very criminal. But it made it harder for us to deal as a country in terms of the business and all of the things that we'd like to have dealt with. But we'll have a good chance when this is over. So just to put it very quickly, I'm going to start.
I just had to see the part where like baby
goodness.
Obama in the car
That
and
is
Hillary
so
Clinton
cute.
with the scarf. Like,
Speaking of babies, I do want to give a congratulatory, just congratulations to becoming parents.
Get a
for
cigar.
Kat Kammick, her husband, and for Ginger and Matt Gates. You guys, congratulations so much. Your babies are so cute. My ovaries are screaming.
Ginger and Matt Gates named her Lucky.
Yeah.
I like that. I
yeah,
like that.
cute.
Yes, we love it when our representatives get out there and breed. Those of you that can. That's it for us here at Open Mic. I mean, you got to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have Bianca Garcia on tomorrow. Guys, make sure that you follow us, like, share, and subscribe.
And comment.
Oh, yes, comment.
Engage with us.
Absolutely. We love that. Guys, until tomorrow, thank you for Open Mic. Make sure you keep your own mic open. Stay unapologetic, unfiltered, and keep it real. See ya.
Bye.
Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. What do you do when the gas is high? Inflation's up in the sky. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. And I don't care how they look at me in the deepest heart of a blue city. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. And I know when you smile, you like what you see. If you love America, you'll agree. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on.